everybody, this week on ANN News Kids, we're going to be talking about President Putin and Peter the Great, Prince William, China's population, and the journalists in Brazil. The country of the week is Turkmenistan, and Siddhant was the first to guess it. The extra fun segment is all about eagles, and in the Mandarin segment, you will be learning how to say today, tomorrow, and how to say the date, like today is which date. We are talking to Beatriz Aurelio, who is an amazing person who works in a company called TukTuk Box, which she co-founded during the lockdown. She has a lot of amazing things to say, and I really hope you enjoy. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment below because we are trying to get to 1,000 subscribers and it would really help us. Thank you. President Vladimir Putin of Russia has openly compared himself to Peter the Great, a former Russian Tsar. Peter the Great was a Tsar 3 centuries ago, and now President Putin has compared the Russian invasion of Ukraine to this Tsar's expansion of Russia 3 centuries ago. He says that the Tsar never invaded anything and just reclaimed it. And that's what he's doing right now. But in February, when he said that his mission was just to denazify Ukraine, that was something completely different to what he's saying right now. President Putin also said that he's just trying to strengthen Russia and get his country back. He also does not follow all of the principles of the Russian Tsar. Peter the Great was a huge believer and follower of Western ideas and culture, but President Putin is trying to shut off Russia from the West. But who was Peter the Great? Peter the Great was a former Russian Tsar who ruled from 1682 to 1725. He was best known for trying to reclaim Russia's territory and establish it as a great nation, as well as for reclaiming the Baltic Sea from the Swedish who had invaded it half a century before. His greatest accomplishments were the Russian Navy, which was his lifelong passion, as well as the building of the St. Petersburg in 1704. Prince William, the Duke of Cambridge, was spotted this week selling magazines undercover. He was selling copies of the Big Time magazine undercover because he is trying to get a good experience to be a future king as he's second in throne. Many people had taken photos which soon went viral, and there were comments like, "What a lovely image to see our future king doing a humble and good job and helping the neediest." This probably goes back to his childhood when Princess Diana, his mother, would take him and Prince Harry to homeless shelters. Homelessness was a huge problem that Princess Diana really cared about, and now Prince Charles is doing something about it. China's population is on track to decrease this year for the first time since the Great Famine in 1960. China makes up 1/6 of the world's population, but despite that, its population is on the track to decreasing. This is also happening despite them abandoning their one-child policy in 2016 and introducing the three-child policy last year. Last year, in 2021, China's population increased by just 480,000, which is much less than the average of the annual 8 million that is standard for the past decade in China. Researchers have now predicted that every year from now on, the population of China will decrease by 1.1%. A British journalist, Dom Phillips, and a Brazilian expert. A British journalist, Dom Phillips, and an indigenous expert, Bruno Pereira, had gone missing in Brazil after taking a boat ride near the Amazon in the Peru-Brazil border. The police are being urged to find them by many people, including the Brazilian football legend Pelé. These two went missing after the boat, and everyone is trying really hard to find them. Mr. Pereira had received several death threats in the week before because he was doing a lot of work fighting against illegal fishing in that area. The police have not found much yet, except possible human remains near the place that they went missing, as well as one arrested person who was carrying illegal weapons and who was one of the last people to see them. Hi everybody, this week on the Spiritual Curious segment, we are interviewing Beatriz, who is an amazing person. She has a company called TukTuk Box, which works with food, and she supports Asian people around America. She's an amazing person and co-founded this company during the lockdown. She has an amazing thing to say, and we really hope you enjoy.
Yeah, so my name is Beatriz Aurelio Saguin. I'm a daughter of immigrants who hail from the Philippines as well as Jakarta. I'm a Filipina American who also identifies with the Indonesian community. I have a master's in public health. I have a master's in global health, and I have 2 puppies.
Thank you. And can you tell us what your job is and what you do in it?
Yeah, so I'm co-founder of TukTuk Box. We're a specialty food retailer that focuses on uplifting the Southeast Asian community through economic development, story sharing, and community building. And so things that I do on the day-to-day, we are a brand. We're essentially a social enterprise. So we create products where proceeds go back to different Southeast Asian small businesses, as well as work in the community. So some things that we do is like community engagement, which is talking with, community members, learning about some of the gaps for their health disparities or environmental disparities, and kind of figure out how can we help and how can we advocate for communities. Since we have different products, some of the things I do on the day-to-day is I box. I do interviews like this. I also do emails a lot, and meet with community members either in person or virtually.
Wow, that's amazing. And what got you started in this career path?
So my career started in undergrad. For my bachelor's, I have a bachelor's in psychology. So I was trying to figure out, how can I work more for Southeast Asians? How can I work more to help promote women of color, as well as work with making greater change? And so I started off working in policy, where I was working with a lot of senators, legislators, and trying to find ways to create policies with nonprofits to help fill gaps here in the United States where folks don't have access to certain healthcare, or they don't have access to pay for things like tuition for school. And so I worked with, the legislature to try and figure out, like, how can we create laws that will help push these people up and help them be able to afford things like this. And so I was working in that for, I would say, like 5 years, and then the pandemic hit. And my co-founder and I at TukTuk Box, I was actually a volunteer with her nonprofit called Courageous Kitchen, and it's a nonprofit in Thailand that works with refugees from all over the globe. They're asylum seekers as well as refugees, and so when the pandemic hit, I was also volunteering there, and we couldn't serve the families that we were serving anymore because a lot of the funds were generated from tourism. And, as you know, the pandemic, the world shut down and nobody knew what to do. And so my co-founder, Christy, was already sending sort of like meal kit boxes essentially to people who were customers or supporters of Courageous Kitchen. And so I told her, I think maybe we can use this as a model to push forward either supporting our communities, the Southeast Asian communities here in the United States, or even the community in Thailand. And so we came up with TukTuk Box. And TukTuk, if you don't know, is like a motorized rickshaw. And we use it as our vehicle to make social change. And so that's how TukTuk Box came into fruition.
Wow, that's amazing.
Wow, yeah, that's a great journey. And what do you enjoy the most about what you do?
I think being able to hear stories from other folks that are joyful stories. As you know, as women of color, as folks from, different communities, a lot of our stories are not of joy. A lot of our stories that the media shares is, trauma, negative things. And so to be able to hear the joy of other folks and helping promote that is really what I enjoy. And then since we are a food-based company, food is always, a love language for everyone. So being able to share meals with other people and meeting other people from all over the world, folks like you, is really exciting for me.
Wow, that's great. And finally, what is your advice to kids?
I think for kids, it's be patient with yourself. I know sometimes we want to be at the end goal already, but it sometimes doesn't go, in the linear path that we hope. So I like to tell folks, be patient with yourself and always remember to use your voice, because no matter what settings you are in, whether it's small or, you're giving a speech to all these people, you are someone that someone is looking up to. Even if you're a kid, even if you're a teenager, you're still someone that someone's looking up to. And always remember that you have a voice, be courageous, and nobody out there is like you.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time today. It was absolutely great.
Thank you. And thank you for having me.
It was great to meet you.
Yeah, it was an honor interviewing you, and we really hope you have a great day.
You too. Have a good night.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Le Turkménistan est un pays d'Asie centrale. Sa capitale est Ashgabat et sa population est de 6 millions d'habitants. Le Turkménistan est 80% désertique. Le Turkménistan est très connu pour ses tapis. Il y a un musée de tapis avec 1000 tapis et il y a aussi un tapis sur le drapeau national de Turkménistan. Le Turkménistan était une partie de la République soviétique de 1925 à 1991. Hell's Gate n'est pas naturel. C'est causé parce que c'était une expédition il y a plus que 50 ans par les soviétiques, quand tout a tourné terrible. C'était une expédition de forage de gaz naturel. Hi everybody, this week for the extra fun segment, I'm going to be telling you about eagles. I hope you enjoy. Eagle's grip is 10 times stronger than a human's grip. Eagles build their nests on top of high cliffs. Eagles are a symbol of freedom and peace. An eagle's eyesight is up to 8 times stronger than that of a human's. Despite the bald eagle being an emblem of the United States, only 2 species of it can be found in the entire country. I really hope you enjoyed these facts about eagles. Hi everybody, this week for the Mandarin segment, I'm going to be telling you how to say today and tomorrow. Then we're going to be able to say what date it is today. Last week, we learned about the months of the year. Do you remember Yue, which means month, but also moon? Do you remember Yue, January? You can go back to that video to see all the months of the year. And the video before that, we learned days of the week. So, today we're going to be learning how to say today, tomorrow, and how we can say the date. Today is very simple. 今天. 天 is used for day, and 今天 together makes today. 今天. If I want to say today was 3rd March, I would say 今天3月3号. If I want to say day, I would say 好. But it's not the same 好 as in 你好, it's a different one. But don't confuse it if someone says 3月3日. 日 is also another way to say 好 for date, but 日 is mostly used in the writing and reading and not speaking. Tomorrow is 明天. 今天,明天. Ming is used for many things to say next. So if I wanted to say next year, I would also say Ming and then year. If I wanted to say tomorrow is 9th November, I would say 明天是1月9号. 11 is 11, 月 is month, making November, and 9 is 9, 9号 is 9th date. So 明天是1月9号 would make tomorrow is 9th November. I really hope you enjoy this week. 再见!